forward to hearing from you.
In these times of increasing economic challenge, the Jonathan Spikes Foundation has partnered with the City of Miami Gardens, the Neighbors and Neighbors Association, and Tools for Change to present Reflections of Success. Now, this is a free educational and professional business development workshop taking place this coming Wednesday, June 13th, from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Betty T. Ferguson Center. My guest this morning is Jonathan Spikes, motivational speaker, youth advocate, and author. Good morning, and thank you so much for joining us, Jonathan.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
What a pleasure to have you to be a part of Community Voices. This is your first time, so once again, welcome. And on that subject of being a motivational speaker, what was your motivation for putting together a workshop of this type?
My motivation was that I did a Let's Talk It Out program would deal with bullying and conflict resolution. And I had a lot of agencies who were calling me about the program, and I had to do presentations, but I did not know how to do a business presentation because I was never taught. And out of that, I realized there are a lot of entrepreneurs out there who may have get chances to do things in the corporate world, but if they never have been taught how to do it, how are they supposed to do it? And that's why the theme of Reflections of Success is when you know better, you can do better.
And you said you did speaking, talking about bullying. Tell us a little bit about your background.
My background is in human resource management. I wrote a book called I Know What I Am and I Am Not What You Call Me. And based out of that book, I created a Let's Talk It Out conflict resolution anti-bullying program that is done in Miami-Dade County schools and several churches and civic organizations in Miami-Dade County. And out of that, people started hearing about it and started requesting me to come to their organization and present it. And that's when I realized that I had no corporate training on how you're supposed to do things. I just speak and shoot straight from the hip. And based out of that, I decided to get a lot of businesses together and other organizations who help small businesses and get them together so we could do this workshop. We're going to have classes on business plans, marketing and research, business financing, different sources of capital, including grants, and customer service.
I read, too, you talked about doing the presentations that you came up with a unique stress management technique or method. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, when I was at the Miami-Dade Police Department, I realized that there was no training or classes to help their 911 operators deal with stress because, you know, anytime you answer the phone, you could get someone being shot or someone fighting or screaming in your ear, and there was nothing to deal with the emotional labor that they go through. And so I put together a training program, and surprisingly it was accepted by the department and taught to all the Communication Bureau employees, and I received a lot of awards for that program.
Wow, that is commendable. And I'm sure you could create that program for virtually a lot of other types of work these days. People are under quite a bit of stress. Pretty much no matter where they're working, maybe, as you say, you know, not under where they're dealing with life or death kinds of situations. But if we don't manage our stress well, it affects our health.
Exactly, and that's the good thing about this workshop is because a lot of people in business, I know a lot of people like do nails and hair and lawnmower service and car washes. A lot of them don't know about business plans and how business finances. You know, you can make a bunch of money at one time, but how do you manage that money so that it could be there for you in these down economic times so you don't be stressed out on how you're going to make it?
Absolutely. And so what can participants expect when they come to this workshop?
You can expect a wealth of knowledge and a wealth of information. We have Dr. Philip Mann from Barry University, who's going to come out and teach you how to do business plans for free. And he's also willing to do follow-ups to go over your plans with you to make sure they're up to par and up to standards. We have business financing and training by Mr. Cornell Cruz, who's going to, from Partners for Self-Employment. He's going to come out and teach you about business financing. They also have small business loans available, and you do not have to have perfect credit in order to qualify for those loans. We're going to have a class on customer service by Ms. Tia Tucker-Williams of Virtual Assistant Solutions on how to treat your customers so they could be repeat customers and also spread the word of mouth so you can increase your business. Mr. William Young of Tools for Change is going to do the business formation class on teaching you how to incorporate your business in the state of Florida and about the corporate kits and different things of that nature. and Mr. Leroy Jones of the Neighbors and Neighbors Association is going to talk about the mom and pop grants that the commissioners in Miami-Dade County has set aside funding for.
Wow, and I mean, all of those are certainly I'm pretty familiar with most of these agencies for sure. To have them come out and spend time talking to the community, giving up their time to give people insight and a better understanding about how to be successful in business, and as you say, that they're offering follow-up to some degree as well. So that's excellent.
It's a very good program, and again, it's free, and it's very informative, and it will help you know better so you can do better. You don't have to make the same mistakes I made in the beginning when I first started out.
So did these experts help you?
Yeah, some of them. I went to Tools for Change and Neighbors for Neighbors. I once got a grant from Neighbors for Neighbors for a bakery that I owned a couple of years ago. So some of these people have helped me develop and become the business owner that I am today.
So when you said that perhaps these experts can help the participants to avoid some of the mistakes that you made, would you share some of those mistakes so that we can all learn from those mistakes?
Yes, a lot of times when you don't have a vision, you just wavering, you just go anywhere. And that's the good thing about a business plan. A business plan helps you realize where you are supposed to go, when you're supposed to, maybe not when you're supposed to get there, but it gives you a roadmap on what you should be doing, how you should be doing it in order to be successful. And I know in the beginning I did not have a business plan, so I'll jump over here, I'll jump over there. I had no direction on which way or what I wanted to accomplish in such a time frame. And creating a business plan and writing it down now, when I want to do something, I go, does it meet the goals that I set? Is it part of my strategic vision? And how would it benefit me in the end, or benefit my customers in the end? And so that's one of the great things that I learned by having a plan. The people will perish for lack of vision.
Absolutely. And what about on the technical side of this? What are some of the tools that you've been able to employ to improve your business?
Well, some of the tools I use to improve my business, especially with the business financing, because I know sometimes you will get a large influx of money, like fast money, real fast. And you think that could help you for that moment, or you go spending and buying all this equipment and everything like that, but you don't realize that the next month you may have a slowdown. Mm-hmm. How you afford your rent on your place and your phone and your light bill on your business. And so the business financing and training helps you to put a strategic plan together, a financial plan on this is how much I could take out of the business, this is how much I need to leave in the business in order to keep the business running in the down times. So you don't have to go out of business during these economic times that we're facing right now.
Absolutely. Now, the actual roundtable that my girl Tamara G is going to be hosting, what will be some of the topics that you'll focus on during that roundtable?
We have different business owners in the community who are coming out to share their experiences. The audience will be able to ask questions on how they became successful, or what did they do, or how did they survive these economic times. What do they do to market their business? How do they get their brand out there? There's going to be a big discussion on that, and the audience can ask any questions that they want, and it's, we're sharing information back and forth.
Excellent. Now, who are some of those business owners that are coming out?
Some of the business owners, again, are Mr. Terry Jones, who just got a contract with Miami-Dade County, the Best Cut Lawn Service. We have Here It Is, from Dawn of Here It Is, who just got a contract to do training classes inside her beauty salon, and we have a few other people who we're solidifying right now to come.
Oh, that's excellent. These are like typical kinds of businesses that people find in every community, so that's great. They're getting kind of general kinds of businesses to relate to. That can help out.
That's what's very important to me. I could have easily went out and got someone from Wall Street or a 501 company, but I wanted to get the people who are in the neighborhoods, like the people who own the barbecue stands and the soul food restaurants, and have a mixture of different businesses there, because everybody's not going to own a Fortune 500 company. So I wanted a mixture.
Absolutely. Now, Jonathan, is this a one-time event, or are you looking to create a series of workshops out of this? Or, what is the intention going forward?
The intention is, well, this is, like I said, this was formed out of my mistakes, and I wanted to teach other people or get other people to teach others on how not to make the same mistakes again, because when you know better, you can do better. So we will see how this play out, and who knows, the sky is the limit. We can do all kind of things with this once we get the first one under our belt.
Absolutely. And what should people bring with them when they come to the workshop? How should they prepare for it?
Bring a notepad, bring a pen, and bring an open mind, and be prepared to learn all that you can to help your business or to even start a business.
And how do they participate? Is there a registration process?
No, you just need to show up. You could get more information off my website, jonathan@jonathanspikes.com, or you could come to the Betty T. Ferguson Center, which is 3000 Northwest 199th Street, Miami Gardens, Florida, 33056. You could come there and get more information on the program.
And in case people have questions that they might want to ask before they come, is there a phone number where you can be reached?
Yes, you can reach me at 305-772-8270, 305-772-8270.
And Jonathan, is there a message or anything else you'd like to share with our listeners about being entrepreneurs?
Yes, there's no greater thing than to own your own business and to see your business thrive. We have a lot of great ideas in our head, but a lot of people don't act upon those ideas, and so we never know what will happen. And the greatest thing is when you see yourself have an idea, you write it down, you put a plan in action, and you see it coming to fruition, and to see you grow and prosper in that business. And the great thing about this program is that we don't know everything, and we have professionals in the business who's coming out to teach us so we can know better and do better and thrive and be the best that we can be in our businesses that we own.
And what would you say to the people who are, afraid, have a fear of failing?
How would you know that you will fail unless you try? You would never know that you will fail unless you try, because it could be something in your head that you're imagining, but you have to push past that. You have to push past that and realize that the only thing that will fail you is you not trying to do it or you being afraid to do it. So come on out and get these free classes and realize that you can do it, you can make it, and you can be the best that you can be.
And what about those who have failed and are just scared to even try?
I failed before in business. Like I said, I owned a bakery. I failed in that bakery. But here I am again doing all these other things. Just something in me that just said, well, I wouldn't even call it failure. Sometimes that just means you have to go another way or go another direction, or that may not be what's meant for you to do. But you can't stop. You got to keep trying. You cannot stop. You can't give up, because that's when you really fail, because you gave up. But if you believe in yourself and you believe in your vision, it's not going to be easy all the time, but you have to keep pushing. You got to keep believing. And these workshops like this is which will help you to get the best knowledge that you can to be successful.
And Jonathan, when a person has a vision, who is it safe to talk to in order to preserve and develop that vision?
Well, the first person you would talk to, the first thing I would do if I have a vision, I would write the vision down so I can have an understanding of what it is that I'm doing. Because a lot of times we don't write these things down. We think we can hold it in our head. And so when it's trying to present it to someone, we're all over the place because we don't even know everything that the vision gave us. So the first thing I would do is write the vision down. There are a lot of organizations out there like Tools for Change and Neighbors and Neighbors Association who will help you develop that vision and do the right things, do the right paperwork to open up that business. So you have to write the vision down and speak to people who has your best interests at heart. You can even get them to sign a non-disclosure agreement so that they can't talk about what you told them in the meeting, to preserve your vision and so you don't think someone else is trying to take your idea.
The other thing is that right now with so many people losing their jobs and so many people having been out of work for such long periods of time, I have been seeing more people looking and just kind of developing businesses based on hobbies and skills and talents that they've had all along. A friend I know who always loved cooking and just started developing some dishes and now is doing festivals and things like that. So nowadays, with the unemployment, they have limits and it's not going to last forever. So you have to really start thinking like, what am I going to do? And so if you turn within and start remembering some of the skills that you really have. I don't know if people have seen on television, on the Oprah show. I love this Welcome to Sweetie Pies. And this whole restaurant, how, she used to be a backup singer with Ike and Tina Turner and like ended up being homeless because she got sick. A lot of people don't realize, a lot of people end up being homeless because they get sick. And then when she, I guess, got on her feet again, she couldn't really sing anymore because what happened was it happened with her lungs. So she couldn't really sing anymore, but she did know how to cook. And so Miss Ravi has a brand new restaurant, Upper Crust, I think is the name of it. And that, I guess, we'll be seeing more of the development with Upper Crust moving into the fall season. But what a great story, she had singing talent, but something went wrong with that, and so she developed another talent, cooking, that she had, and turned that into a huge success.
Exactly, and she could have took that as a failure, because that's all she knew. That's all she was doing was singing. And when she got sick, she could have taken it as a failure. Oh, I don't know what I'm going to do. She could have just sat there and just complained and moaned and groaned. But she decided to use her talent that she had to cook. And I was successful in that. And that goes to show what we were speaking on earlier, that sometimes there may be a setback, but it doesn't mean that that's the end. You have to regroup, refocus, and give it another shot at something else.
Absolutely. And so just to recap the workshop details, would you do that for our listeners before we close out?
Yes, Reflections of Success is going to be Wednesday, June the 13th from 11 a.m. until 3 p.m. Come out. We're going to have a great time. It's at the Beatty Ferguson Center at 3000 Northwest 199th Street, Miami Gardens, Florida, 33056.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to share this with us, Jonathan, and thank you for putting on such a great workshop through the Jonathan Spikes Foundation to help the community.
And thank you very much for having me. I really do appreciate your efforts in helping spread the word and help educate the community as well. We know better, we can do better.
And there you go. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Jonathan Spikes, motivational speaker, youth advocate,